here we are, live. Right.
Yeah. How's it going, Artie?
Absolutely. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
How come we got no people in the comments?
I don't know. There'll be along shortly. There's 2 people watching, and neither of them is me. So somebody will be along momentarily.
Hiya, 2 people.
I found that if I put all the social media posts out on all the social media channels, that it adds about 20 to 30% of viewers. David Imparato is first
There's
in the line.
Imparato's there. La Torra's
Charles
there.
La
What's up, guys? What the hell? Beat Cafe.
And Beat Cafe.
Longshore.
Everything is great.
You know, Beat Cafe, I think there's a band called Beat Cafe.
It's possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Artie, today you want to talk about tactical chaos. In other words,
tactical chaos and why people feel
the fog of war.
Well, that's part of it, but it's a little more difficult than that. I think by definition, at least, I mean, so when people talk about this, it's like, the battle is chaotic and what games model that. The first thing on the list is always Combat Commander, right? Which is a game that I don't really enjoy. And it's because it does model tactical chaos, but it does so at the cost of player agency. I mean, but you definitely want that unpredictable element, right? I mean, you don't want to have total. I at this point, I don't want total control over absolutely everything. I think that's a problem. No. I want to face challenging decisions and not just I'll just attack everywhere this turn again.
Yeah,
that's
but
lame.
Isn't that unrealistic in actual war?
Right,
you're planning something and it happening.
That's what I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to do is to find other ways to model that besides the way Combat Commander does it. So, I guess ASL too, because I think ASL does a halfway decent job of it. It's going to take so much time to pack up ASL stuff, by the way. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to end up with 10 boxes of ASL stuff. Let me put it
seriously, man.
Yeah, I think at least 6. There's going to be at least 6, probably 8. So,
Lockputter.
Very good, very good. Use the code, use it or lose it, right?
Yeah, but I think July 4th, it's over.
Oh dear. They put they have another sale going right now?
I don't know, but there's something I don't know, but I know that they're cutting the code off for a small amount of time, and that's it. The 10% is not going to be there for a while.
Yeah, I think that's because of their huge clearance sale. 300,000 items up to 30,000 items up to 80% off. They've got the who is it? Shakos Napoleon 1815 for retail price. It looks like. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. I literally spent all the money already. So,
well, yeah.
But they've got some interesting looking stuff. So
Artie, like, you seriously have 10 boxes of ASL alone?
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up with 6 to 8 boxes, actually.
So what are you going to do, man?
Well, I'm going to move 6 to 8 boxes of ASL. Is what I'm going to do. I mean, what am I going to do? Get rid of it again? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I don't want to buy it all again.
Oh, you already got rid of it before.
I dumped it once. I had back in the day. And by the day, I mean right around the time Avalon Hill went away. I had everything except the very last thing that they did, which was Doom Battalions. Was it Doom Battalions or Doom Battalions? I had all the historicals, which was only I think 3 or 4 of them at that point, maybe 5. But I had all that stuff. I sold it all in one big lot. I got decent change for it, but I don't want to buy it again. So that's why I'm not dumping it. The new place, I should have a lot more room to store that kind of shit. So, we'll see what kind of storage solutions I end up with.
Hold on
I'll have a video on it.
Let me see my YouTube channel. I think something's up, man.
Yeah, there was no, ad for the show before the show.
No, maybe it's this. Hold on a second. God.
Field Commander Rommel starting at $30. Just glancing through the... Noble Knight stuff. The Hunters starting at $35. Great game. Oh, what's that? Yeah, that's why we're moving. Is that kind of shit.
Well, I don't get it.
the cars roaring by in the middle of the night with the sirens going, or the
Oh, I thought you were talking about the $30,000.
No.
Yeah, no, I unfortunately, I have a nice place. I mean, I like it with a good piece of land, but we got the main road here, and now it's becoming more populous because Amazon just moved in.
Well, hopefully that's not something we'll have to worry about. We're actually at the end of a dead end road. So
that's good.
Which there was like an old road there, but it's like overgrown now and obviously not traversable by vehicles. So let's hope it stays that way for the next 20 years or so.
Well, I mean, here it used to be farms, and now Amazon's in.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm up to about 30 boxes so far. Have been gone through and packed. This is games, of course.
And how many more boxes think you got going?
I estimate another 30. We'll see between games and books. The majority of that's going to be war games, though. That takes up the most space.
And does anybody think you're insane?
Yeah, probably. I got to be concerned about filling up the whole storage container with just games. Actually,
like how many games do you think you got, man?
Well, I keep track, so it's not mysterious. I've got like 465 war games, but the way I keep track of it, I don't count the expansions. So like ASL counts as one game, but it's a whole bookcase, right? It's 5 shelves of ASL.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah. So, and that's probably at least 6, probably 8, maybe 10 boxes of stuff when I pack it all up. So
it's 10 to the power of 8.
What?
I'm not good at math. I just said something.
Apparently not. It's a lot of stuff. So.
Okay, so Tactical Chaos. You know what? I actually one of the only war games that I've played, believe it or not. Man, I played a couple of war games. We're not saying, but I really enjoyed the Combat Commander, man.
A lot of people do. A lot of people love it, and what part of the reason they love it is because it does a good job, I would say, at simulating tactical chaos, at instituting controls over player decision making. Right. I think what are and I'm talking about the tactical level specifically here, right? Because that's, I think, where Combat Commander, that's what I don't like about Combat Commander is the way that it does that. So I'm trying to get my hands around what are other ways to do it. Now, of course, in ASL, you could break, right? Squads can break and you'll lose control of them. And they have a very prescriptive type of way that they can move around if they are broken, so you don't have full control over them. And that was considered very innovative at the time, by the way, in 76 or whenever the first squad leader came out. I think there are analogous elements in things like lock and load tactical, old school tactical, conflict of heroes, and at least a couple of the other ones. I don't think you'll quite lose the same amount of control in Panzer Grenadier, but Panzer Grenadier is platoon level rather than squad level. So that's Mike Anthony, 98 bankers boxes of books. I won't have that many boxes of books. I might have 15 boxes of books. I don't think it'll be more than that. Books are the worst, but I'm not counting RPGs, which are mostly books, and I'll probably have 15 boxes of RPGs too. I'll probably have 45 of war games. That's so I'm guessing.
Who are you going to leave all that to?
That's a great question. Might be you. So
me.
Be prepared if a truck rolls up to your house.
No, I mean seriously, you're going to donate it to a library or something, man? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, who knows? We'll have to. You know, I'm not planning on dropping dead anytime soon. You should plan for that, but you know, I'm being optimistic at this point and thinking that maybe I'm going to play a lot of these games, and I do plan to pare down a bit, but I don't know that I'm going to do a major purge or anything like that where I'm going to dump half of it. That's not happening.
No, I'm talking about dying soon. I'm not dying soon, hopefully, but I'm I'm redoing my will, but I'm just for secure sake, I'm going to tattoo on my chest, "Do not resuscitate."
Yeah, I guess you could do that. I want resuscitate away. That's me. But you know, you don't want to be left in a bad state either. So I can understand
you could be, you know, who knows what you could be.
The worst thing about moving is boxes of books, right? The small book boxes that I bought last time, they like completely disintegrated in many occasions. There's too much weight in them. The tape's just not holding them together. You pick them up and the bottom just falls right out. You got stuff all over the place.
And what are they, paperbacks or hardcover?
A lot of paperbacks, a lot of hardcovers. Depends. I've got probably only about 2 boxes of like paperbacks, like regular like paperbacks. But like trade size paperbacks, the bigger ones are pretty common nowadays. So I've got a decent number of those. I cannot find my copy of Red Storm. I don't know. I found the other stuff that I had lost track of, which was Javel Krieg and Empire of the Sun and the Simonich operational stuff. I found those, but I haven't turned up Red Storm yet. And it's just as likely I stuck it in a box without paying sufficient attention, and it's in one of the 30 boxes sitting out in the hallway right now. So,
well, I guess you're not going to go through that now.
Well, I got to move them all again anyway, so I might as well pop the top on each of them. So they're all going to get moved at least twice more.
Hey, you mentioned the Conflict of Heroes. You're not a big fan, eh?
I thought it was okay. I didn't like, so I played the Guadalcanal one, okay? And the only thing, the problem I had was that I felt like the contrast between the hex grid and the map was insufficient. So there were parts of the jungle where I couldn't make out where the hex grid was. That's the most serious complaint that I have with Conflict of Heroes, to be honest about it. Otherwise, it's fine. It's a good game. I think Combat Commander is a good game too. I just don't like it. So,
what about the lock and load stuff, man?
I like Lock and Load Tactical.
It's close to ASL. Is it close to ASL?
Yeah, but Conflict of Heroes kind of is too. Conflict of Heroes is probably a little more different. Lock and Load Tactical is I think it's a little more similar to ASL. I think it's a very superficial statement, but I think I'm probably being accurate there. It's been a few years, so I could be mistaken. But I mean, the influence that Squad Leader and ASL have had on World War II tactical games is enormous, right?
Of course.
So that we see a lot of games that seem to be following in Squad Leader's footsteps is not at all surprising.
You still play Squad Leader?
I haven't played since the beginning of the pandemic. Let me put it that way. We have a local group here in Columbus that met at once a month at like the library at whatever random library in Central Ohio. And I was just starting to go when we had a pandemic. So that put the kibosh on that. And I haven't played it since. So I talked to Calandale about his moving experience, and it wasn't the people we're going with. So
no, man, you're talking about a couple of years ago?
Yeah, when he moved and they lost all his shit.
Yeah, no, but then they wanted if you wanted it back, you had to pay a premium.
Yeah, it was some kind of blackmail horseshit. Yeah. I think Open Fire is considered tactical level.
Yeah.
That's the old, I assume we were talking about the old Victory games.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what scale it's at exactly. I thought it was squad level, but it's definitely tactical.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I have it, but it's in shrink. I haven't even opened it yet.
Is that standalone or was that an expansion for like ambush?
Standalone.
Oh, okay. In that case, what's that?
They say it's like it's supposed to be like ambush, right?
Right.
But it doesn't have the intimacy, the personality that ambush has.
Okay, it's a Jerry Klug design. I know that. So, and I mean, I can definitely picture the box in my head, but otherwise, I am not sure what made it different from ambush. I know it was solitaire.
It's solitaire,
but I mean, ambush was too.
Yeah, same system.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not that different from ambush, then, is it?
No, but they said because it's a tank, and it's not a squad of people, you know.
Yeah, but it's still tactical, right?
Yes, of course.
So it is, I think, perhaps a little surprising that there's not like a real active, I don't know, maybe it's because it's solitaire. I guess I was about to say it's surprising that there's not like an active community of people playing ambush. And maybe there is, and I just don't see them. But like there are for like B-17 Queen of the Skies, right? That gets played at WBC. There's like a big tournament of, I don't know if tournament is the right word exactly, but there's like a big thing at WBC where people all get together and fly like a whole wing of bombers in. It sounds kind of awesome. So,
but the system that John Butterfield created, John Butterfield and
Eric Lee Smith.
Eric Lee Smith. I mean, it's kind of tedious if you think about it, man. We're in a fast food world, and right now you got to put code sheet X, and it's like
maybe I've never played Ambush, so I'm not sure, but that maybe it's tedious now. I mean, that's possible.
I think it's tedious. I don't know, maybe because I'm hyperactive there, but they should have an app for something like that.
This is roughly accurate. One Calyx cube is 13 by 13 by 13 inches. So ask me how I know.
Wow, you know that good.
Yeah, it's 13 by 13 by 13 inches. And my boxes, I think, fit about 16 inches of stuff in them. So it's close. John says that, and I think a lot of people feel this way, is that the best tactical experiences are miniatures games. And I don't think so, but I'm not the right person to ask that question. So, I mean, I think Jim Ozarski would agree, certainly.
What about tactical games like this one?
What is that?
Spearpoint.
Spearpoint. Okay, hold on. I can't even see the damn thing.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, Frontline General, the tactical card game. Okay.
Like,
there's no reason you can't have a tactical card game. I mean, Up Front was a tactical card game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody somewhere is probably stamping their little feet about our Ambush, or not Ambush, but Up Front was not a war game because it was a card game, but that's nonsensical, right?
It's a war game.
Yeah, it's totally a war game, and Spearpoint's a war game too, and they're tactical games, even though they're card games.
Do you know this guy, Byron Collins?
Byron Collins. Don't know that I do.
I mean, even talking about tactical chaos.
Does he look like Lord Byron, or at least dress like Lord Byron?
I got that sense too. I got that sense too.
I mean, that would be cool, right? Iggy Cricktal is going to play ASL. That's pretty awesome. I know there's I'm moving to an area where there's more AS. Well, I don't know if there's more, but there's ASL up there too, right? So I'm not really worried about there not being enough people. I'm much more worried about me not having enough time, right?
So, I mean, what do you do? How do you check this stuff out? How do you know there's people playing ASL there?
Well, I know some of those people because I've been to ASL Oktoberfest, which is in Cleveland, and it is, I believe, the biggest ASL event anywhere. And I think it draws what it did last year. I have no idea, but I think it normally draws like, I don't know, 100 or 120 people. I mean, that's a big ASL event. So,
and ASL, it's not like you bring a couple of beers and you play ASL, right? It ain't that at all.
Yeah, the intensity level in that room is pretty high, let me tell you. So
really?
It's been a long time. It's probably been 20 years since I've been there. I only went once. And then just for a day, but the intensity level in that room is real high. So
is it fun anymore?
Well, I mean, it depends who you're playing with. Certainly some of those people are probably too intense, and some of the rest of them are probably more casual. It's going to be a lot. I've been making noise about going to an ASL Oktoberfest for at least 7 or 8 years now. And I'll now have less reason to not at least go up on Saturday, right? Because it's an easy drive. It's going to be like an hour away. So I'm likely to show up next year. Shit, maybe this year. That's possible. And so we'll see what happens. And well, if I do that, then I will report live from ASL Oktoberfest. Winterfest does have a lot of ASL. It's about 60% ASL. It's about 60% ASL, 30% Great Campaigns, the American Civil War, and 10% everything else. And that's a nice event too, especially if you're in ASL or GCACW.
isn't there a Civil War event other than a miniature Civil War event?
What do you mean?
Like ASL is like ASL, it's a board game, right?
Right.
So don't they have American Civil War board game? Come and play at Summerfest or something.
Well, so at Winter Offensive, there's a huge, Great Campaigns of the American Civil War event, which also has its own smaller events. There's the Mason-Dixon Cup, for example, which is held every year, which I think they poll like 12 or 15 people or something like that. And but it's like an in-person gathering, and they sit there and play GCACW for several days. I don't know of any board wargaming Civil War games that support that kind of thing other than GCACW. But that doesn't mean there aren't any. And there are also miniatures games, right? Which, Civil War is one of the many things that, miniatures people are into as well.
What's he saying? What's Matt Taylor saying here? Is it
many
true?
war games with new rule set have gotten less tactical over the past 20 years, in his opinion. I mean, you might be right. I have no opinion on that, to be honest. What I will say, though, is that miniatures rules have always tended to be tactical games. There are exceptions, but generally speaking, they are tactical games. So what I think you're saying is that maybe miniatures designers are starting to branch out over the last 20 years or so and trying to do more operational stuff. But I think you're kind of eroding the point of playing with miniatures at that point. If you're playing an operational or strategic game with miniatures, then the miniatures are just kind of an ornament. I mean, I've seen people play the Napoleonic Wars, the GMT game, the Napoleonic Wars, which is a terrific multiplayer game, by the way. I have seen people use miniatures for the pieces for that, blow the map up and use miniatures for the pieces, and it's cool. But it's, it's kind of just an optional. It's a board game. You just threw miniatures at it, right? So, right. So, yeah, we got it. Is what about that Stack Academy thing?
Yeah, I got Friday off. I'm gonna see what I can do and upload it to my computer and edit it and stuff like that. Now I think I'm becoming lazy now. So yeah, thanks by the way, Kilroy, for mentioning that. Yeah, rat.
Tomorrow,
what the hell?
Video tomorrow. Dallas, the television role-playing game
by SPI, man.
By James F. Dunnigan himself.
Have you played it?
No, it's weird. I just got it off of eBay. It was, I think, $26 in the shrink wrap, and it's pristine too. Man, as you can imagine, nobody played that. It's going to be an interesting peruse. Let me put it that way. So we'll see. Yeah. So this is exactly it. The miniatures.
Oh, sorry.
So, I mean, one of the things that is cool about miniatures, right, is that it represents the battlefield in miniature with the terrain and the soldiers cool, and everything. Well, I mean, yeah, fundamentally, it also looks cool. But I mean, the sort of suspension of disbelief there is that you're playing the battlefield in miniature, right? And if you then say, okay, well, each of these miniature figures represents, instead of one guy or 10 guys or whatever it is, each of them represents a brigade. So this whole stand of miniatures represents a division, and I'm moving it around on this really high level map where there starts to be a scale mismatch between the miniatures and the battlefield, and it becomes more abstract. And at that point, I mean, I don't think it's going to feel much like a miniatures game, right?
Mike Anthony, you actually got the game? Seriously?
He did say that, yeah. That's an unfortunate Christmas present right there. The worst Christmas ever. Got Dallas, the role-playing game.
God's sakes, man.
Now, BattleTech does minis, but BattleTech was originally on a hex grid too, which there's nothing wrong with. It doesn't make it not a miniatures game because it's on a hex grid, right? But there is a scale there, right, where the hexes represent a specific scale and the models represent a specific scale, and it's hard to vary that much farther than, say, BattleTech does. And there's nothing wrong with. We were right next to the BattleTech people at Origins, by the way. They got a little loud.
Did they?
But
smell?
Not as loud as the pro wrestling people.
Did they smell?
No, I do think, not that I noticed, I do think that there was a later adaptation to use BattleTech with like measuring tapes and stuff rather than hexes, but I don't know whether that became the standard at any point. I'm not sure that it did. In fact, I don't think that it did. I could be wrong, but a BattleTech person will have to correct me on that. So, yeah, so my entire family was completely clueless when it came to that kind of thing. Maybe they talked to the clerk at the toy store if I was lucky, but yeah, they basically had no clue. I got a lot of Dukes of Hazzard things when I was a kid, so, and I was not super into the Dukes of Hazzard. So,
hey, Artie, I have a question concerning ASL.
Yes.
In terms of line of sight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a building.
Right.
Building is a square building, okay? And you have Army A, one guy from Army A against the wall, and one guy from Army B against the other wall, okay? Does that happen? And then close combat happens? I mean...
So close combat only in ASL, close combat only happens when everybody's in the same hex, okay?
Right?
Which doesn't normally happen unless everybody's in the same hex. You measure line of sight from center of hex to center of hex. So the ASL map will have a dot in the center of every hex, and that is the dot you measure to and from. And if there's a question about it, line of sight, you actually get a piece of string and measure it from dot to center dot, and if it clips into the corner of a building, then line of sight is blocked. So there you can kind of skirt around buildings. There's something called bypass movement, where if the building doesn't like eat the whole hex, you could go around the building, which I forget exactly how that works, but that is a thing you can do. And knowing ASL, there's probably a rule for some kind of partial cover or something like that, but I don't remember that.
Because that's realistic in a tactical game, skirting around a building.
Absolutely. This thing still gets played at conventions, by the way, Rally Around the Flag. I've seen this thing played at conventions.
What's that?
Rally Around the Flag.
I don't know it.
It's got these, instead of miniatures, it's got these little acrylic stand-ups. It was rather attractive, actually.
You see?
So, and yes, this is true too. So if I can see you in ASL, you can see me and shoot back at me.
Of course.
So,
and he also says something else. He says he calls it what the hell is it? Bypass movement.
Yes, bypass movement. That's what I said.
That's what you said?
Yes, that's what I said. At some point, right? This might be like my retirement. ASL might be I'm not even kidding about this. ASL might be my retirement game, right? Because I just don't get a chance to play it very much. Maybe I'll play it more after the move. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there is a pretty good chance I'll at least stick my head in the door at not Winter Offensive, but Oktoberfest. I think there's a pretty good chance of that.
Did Sean Drulinger's game Point Blank come out yet?
I'm not sure.
I have Outdoor Survival.
Outdoor Survivals. Did you get that from me?
Probably.
Yeah, you might have. So I sent it. I sent one to somebody.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Did you write anything in it on the box or anything? You don't write nothing.
I didn't write. I slipped a note in there.
Yeah, no, you're not like Carl Parazzi there.
I didn't write. Stolen from the library. Oh shit! I should have done that. Damn it! Damn it! Missed opportunity. Stolen from the library of ARDWULF'S LAIR. Have a nice day. So, damn it. But 1776 is a pretty good game. I was a little surprised by the number of Avalon Hill titles I have, to be honest, because I had a lot of war games boxed up because I don't have shelf space for them here. So I reboxed everything over the last 4 days or so, which is absolutely OCD as fuck, by the way. So I, would put all the series together. So I got like 2 boxes and a little more of GBOH, and I've got like 2 boxes of GCACW, and I've got, turns out, like 4 boxes of Avalon Hill games. I didn't think I had that much. The stuff that's going to be a pain to transport is going to be this stuff, because it's in these big flat boxes that don't travel well. They don't pack well. They're easy to crush. So they're probably going in plastic totes. Is my best
flying
guess.
pig games. If you got any flying pig games there, they're huge.
Just
huge.
the one. Just the one, and it's about that size too, right? I'm aggravating my sciatica just picking this thing up.
See, you didn't take it out of shrink yet, huh?
No, it's out of the shrink. It's just a very shiny box. That's all. No, it's actually one that's shortlisted for me. It's the Civil War game that's probably bring Stonewall Jackson's way too, but it's the one that's coming with me to be probably put on a table pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, a beautiful map, and Herman's not difficult in doing rules and all that. So
no, the rules are clean. Same as Blind Sword. I mean, it's not the same exact same rules as Blind Swords, but the Blind Swords rules are also real clean, easy to parse. It's gonna be easy to play. So looking forward to getting into it. I'm gonna sleeve the cards though. I gotta tell you that.
How many cards are there?
Not that many. It's maybe 120, something like that.
Hey, Carl from the War Game Bootcamp, Carl Kreider. Did you get the game yet?
What game?
Carl, the Gettysburg, 3 Days of Gettysburg. Carl Kreider.
3 Days of Gettysburg is a different game. Are we talking about a
most fearful sacrifice?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 3 Days of Gettysburg is the GBACW Gettysburg game, which I also just packed up. I got more than one box of that series now, too. Holy God. Thanks to Vince Ree, I got the last one that I didn't have. So,
hey, you know what? Talking about a most fearful sacrifice, does that now negate the other games that Herman did with Gettysburg?
I assume not, because no. I mean, it's a bit different, right? It's a different scale. And it's not that different scale, but it is a different scale. So I'm not getting rid of Longstreet Attacks or there's the Devils to Pay, which is one I don't have. I have Longstreet Attacks. Was there another one? No, there wasn't.
Yeah. There's Jesus, what's it called? I have it. Oh my God.
So, but I've got all of the Blind Swords Civil War games, and I think it's a pretty good system. So. In fact, this week's unboxing on Thursday is, in fact, a Blind Swords Kernstown. So,
and Kernstown is not a Herman game.
It's Claude Wayland is the actual designer. I actually only have 2 SPI flats, and I loathe SPI flats as a storage solution. For exactly the same reason. They wear poorly, they crush easily, they're hard to transport, they fall apart, and they're 50 or 60 years old. So that makes them all those things worse. The bottoms are all separated off. I mean, that you could fix, but what you can't fix is the plastic that the trays are made of turning yellow and brittle. That's not a fixable problem, other than throwing the tray away and figuring out another way to store the damn thing. So the only 2 games I have in that format are Frederick the Great and Outreach. And that's only because I couldn't find a box copy of Outreach for any price that was less than bananas. Thunder in the Ozarks is the Blind Swords game about Pea Ridge. I have played it. It's very good. There is playthrough video on my channel if you want to check that out. So apparently there's just the 2. There is a Pickett's Charge game, but it's not like, I mean, that's included in Longstreet Attacks, right? So,
hey, does this play well, Longstreet Attacks solo?
It's chit pull, so yeah, it does. I think it plays a little less well than a lot of chit pull games do, though, because I think it's still fine. Don't get me wrong, but the chits in Blind Swords actually kind of operate like cards. In that you'll draw a chit, and maybe it's an activation chit, which means you activate that thing, and then you do your stuff. But it might be some kind of special ability that you then let sit in kind of a hand for a while, and that's hidden information. So I think it's better than average at solitaire, and I don't think it's a huge problem that particular piece of hidden information is known to both sides, but it's maybe not quite as good as you would think based on that.
Oh man,
I know Mark's still around, so and I'm pretty sure he still plays ASL. But man, I've been out of the sphere of Yahoo groups for some decades now, so So it's possible they're still around.
I just got this in the mail, man.
Tokyo Express. It's supposed to be a delightful game. I haven't played it yet.
It's supposed to be difficult too, man.
Yeah. So the file boxes I got, actually, if I, instead of laying them on their side in the box, if I just dump them flat in the box, they actually fit perfectly. That also applies to the Europa size boxes, which are pretty much the GDW flat boxes, I guess I'll call them. They're pretty much the exact same size as an SPI flat. And in fact, I have heard of people using the SPI flats as counter trays for the GDW flat boxes, but then there's no place to fit the rest of the game. So I think that's not really going to work. Yeah, that's true too. Mark's website is great. Great resource for just like, hey, what are all the products, right, for ASL? This is Mark Pitcavige's website, Desperation and Morale. It's a very good site. I wish he had higher resolution pictures of the people's storage solutions and that kind of stuff, though.
Stigler, man.
My
way or the highway?
If I had to complain. And
the guy's a real grognard. He's a
little grumpy sometimes, but we love him.
Rat. Where is he?
We're working hard on Vassal modules for a secret GBACW project. That's the problem. I used to have a few hundred CDs, and then I dumped them all. I digitized everything, which I still have it on a hard drive, and took all the CDs up to Record Exchange and dumped them got a couple $100 for them.
Yeah, now I have Spotify and I don't have anything.
Yeah, I do all my actual listening on Spotify, with the exception of certain things that aren't on Spotify.
That's right, like Joni Mitchell and Neil Young.
So I don't really like Joni Mitchell, but yeah, he's gonna get mad at me for that. But sorry. Hey, maybe I just haven't listened to enough Joni Mitchell. That's not
right, you haven't.
But Neil Young, I'm a huge Neil Young fan, but I have a lot of Neil Young albums on that hard drive. Couldn't find the recording of the Doors' Light My Fire that was on Alive She Cried. Now, I know that Alive She Cried was replaced by the album The Doors in Concert, but I can't find that album on Spotify either. I can find Absolutely Live, which is a great live album, but which doesn't contain Light My Fire. So, and frankly, the Doors were a bit inconsistent in concert. So, so like some of their live stuff, like you got several live performances in the box set, which I did buy, and they're not all equally good. Let me put it that way. The Absolutely Live was assembled from multiple shows in editing, to the point where, parts of one song will be from one concert and the rest of the song will be from a different concert. It was like the first, I think, release of the Celebration of the Lizard, which is this like massive 21-minute performance piece that they tried to get on a studio album at one point and failed. And it's kind of their magnum opus, as it were. And it's probably the best version of it is probably the one on Absolutely Live.
Well, I look, the best Doors. I used to be a huge Doors fan, and today I still listen to LA Woman, the album. I think that's their best.
That's a great album. Waiting for the Sun's a great album. LA Woman as a whole album, I think, is probably better.
Yeah,
but
is there a better driving song than LA Woman, for God's sake?
Possibly.
Come on.
Possibly not. So yes, this is exactly it. There were instances where Ray had to do the singing because Jim was cranked out on whatever shit Jim was cranked out on, passed out on the dressing room floor. So, like 2 or 3 months ago, I was like at a Half Price Books or something, and I saw there bays and bays and bays of vinyl. And I said, I could get into vinyl. That might be cool. And then I said, what are you, fucking nuts?
Yeah, what do you
need another hobby? You don't have room for the hobbies you're into.
Yeah. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Radar Love's a good driving song too. I got to tell you, I don't get Kate Bush just not.
Oh, whoa!
She's completely blown up right now, and that's great.
Yeah,
great
yeah.
for Kate Bush. Just I cannot get into it. Never.
Man,
never
I used
could.
to get into. I got into Kate Bush when her first album came out, and I would think I was 15 years old.
Yeah, well, we all know where 15-year-olds' heads are.
Well, that's true. She was extremely well put together.
So yeah, a lot of people listen to music on YouTube, and I listen to music on YouTube still sometimes, right? There's some performances that you can only find on YouTube for some reason.
Hold on, Jim, you talking ministry there, huh?
Jesus,
ministry, yeah,
yeah, I think so. Never really got into ministry either. This is an interesting song. They use this as the theme song to that horror show with the Rocketeer that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. I forget the name of the show. It was weird.
Not a Rob Zombie thing?
No. Definitely not. It was a zombie show though, because what horror equals zombies nowadays. So.
And by the way, yes, Diane, I love Diane Warwick. I love her background. Diane, who cares?
Dion DeMooch cares. This is a lot of shit, Mike Anthony. I'm not going to have this much shit. I got to tell you. So, yeah, I will not have 103. I am using banker boxes for a lot of this stuff, but I'm not going to have 103 boxes of even of all the books and all the games. You never know when they cart me out from this new place feet first. Maybe I'll have 103 boxes then.
Hey, Christopher,
I am not an Eddie Money fan. Sorry,
I saw him in concert.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. I saw Eddie Money performing at the I'm not an Eddie Money fan. I think he's boring. But I saw him playing at, of all places, the Cleveland Rib Cook-Off, and he was fantastic live. So it just goes to show you, some bands are awesome live, and some bands are garbage. I mean, look, listen to Peter Frampton live, and then go listen to the studio albums of Peter Frampton, and it's like, wow, this is dreadful. The live album is awesome.
Really, eh? I don't know. I wasn't a big Peter Frampton fan.
There was only the one album, right?
Well, no, I mean, I used to get into Frampton when he was with Humble Pie.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Christopher Prest, do you know the Burt Bacharach with Elvis Costello album? Awesome, fantastic, unbelievable.
I'm not really into Elvis Costello either.
How were the ribs, man?
I think we just did like the sample ribs. Actually, it was okay, I guess. So everybody's getting hacked. Everybody go secure your Facebook shit, because all of my relatives have gotten hacked on Facebook in like the last couple of weeks.
I got hacked.
So everybody go change your Facebook password. Turn on 2-factor authentication if they have it. So, my realtor actually was saying that she saw the new Elvis movie and loved it. So if you remember, I think it was a deleted scene where from Pulp Fiction, where Uma Thurman asked John Travolta if he's a Beatles man or an Elvis man. And I mean, looking at John Travolta in that movie, he's obviously an Elvis man, right? But I'm a Beatles man, right? More so. I like some of the stuff Elvis did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like an Elvis hater or anything. But I'm a much bigger Beatles fan.
I mean, Artie, did you ever see his comeback?
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this. Hold on, I'm gonna get to this. The trailer with Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker. Yeah. Oh my God, where did he get that accent? Oh my God. So what were you about to say?
What the hell was I gonna say? Oh, did you see Elvis's comeback show in the 70s?
When Elvis died, I was 6. So definitely not.
Well, I mean, if just check it out on YouTube, one thing, and you're gonna see, man, it's happening. Elvis was the guy.
Late period Elvis was good. I like some of the late period Elvis stuff. So if you're ever in Las Vegas, speaking of Las Vegas, no, I think I've mentioned this before. The Imperial Palace has an auto museum in the casino, and it's really kind of great. There are all kind of historical vehicles in there. There's the limousine that FDR was riding in when some crazy guy took a bunch of shots at him, for example. That vehicle still has the bullet holes in the windows, by the way. There's a car of Khrushchev's. There's a car of Mussolini's. There's a car of Hitler's.
Seriously?
Yes. But of course, it's Las Vegas, right? So they have like a couple cars that were Elvis's cars, and they're Frank Sinatra's car and that kind of stuff. But the most spectacular car was Liberace's car. You gotta see this fucking thing, okay? It's literally got a giant crystal chandelier hood ornament. I mean, it was...
I can't imagine.
You look at it, you're like, yep, that's Liberace's car.
Hey, John Longshore, Johnny Mathis. I love Johnny Mathis.
I like Johnny
love
Mathis
him.
too, actually. I like Johnny
love
Mathis'
him.
Christmas music, actually.
But didn't he do Secret Agent Man?
That was Johnny Rivers. Johnny Rivers, Secret Agent Man.
Anyways, I love Johnny Mathis.
Johnny Mathis, I like his Christmas music. I don't know about the rest of his music necessarily.
Nah, he's good.
I like a lot of that kind of stuff, like Sinatra and Bobby Darin and that kind of thing. So
hey, these guys weren't chumps, man. These guys, they were there because they were wicked.
Johnny Mathis is still alive. So
man, Frank Sinatra, man, his phrasing. Whoa.
Oh yeah, Frank was great. Frank was the man. So yeah, I agree, but it's a personal thing. Yes, I believe Colonel Tom Parker was infected Dutch. So I mean, it's not like he didn't have an accent. He had an accent, I'm sure, but
well, he's a Dutchman.
Well, talk about this. You should take a look at Howlin'. A lot of Led Zeppelin is very, very reminiscent of Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf. Howlin' Wolf was awesome, by the way. Howlin' Wolf is my favorite blues performer.
Hey,
so
John Longshore, Andy Williams, what a voice!
Also great Christmas
what
music.
A voice!
One of those guys who was literally born to sing Christmas music. God, we're talking about Christmas music.
Yes, we are.
There was a movie, an HBO movie about Liberace with, I think, Michael Douglas as Liberace.
Oh my God.
Well, so this is a legendary lie. I mean, I don't know if Queen was always this good, but that particular show, which I saw live too, because everybody watched Live Aid when it was on. That is a legendary performance that elevated all these other shows, all these other huge acts that were also there, and everybody who was anybody was in that show.
No, I mean, I actually had third row center at a Queen concert, and let me tell you,
oh yeah,
Freddie Mercury commands you to watch him. He commands you.
Sure. I didn't see. Wow, look at this. I mean, that's a hell of a brag right there.
Okay.
You got to see Muddy Waters in concert.
Hey, John, you thought you were old, eh?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, I missed. So John Anderson of Yes is doing a Close to the Edge tour, and he's coming to Kent sometime in July. And this is a Kent stage. It's like a couple hundred people auditorium, but it's just John Anderson, who's, let's face it, has seen better days. I looked into tickets for this thing, and it's like $500.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I'm not going. That's why I haven't been to a concert in decades, because I actually had concert tickets to see Acid Mother's Temple, which I think were about $30. And then the pandemic happened, and that everything got canceled for a year. So, but I mean, other than that, they've just outpriced me. I'm just, screw it. I'll stay home and listen to the live albums. I know it's not the same experience, but for $400, I'll stay home.
Yeah. $400, man.
Yeah, for John Anderson, that's crazy. Yes is on tour as well, but like, I don't know who. I mean, it's Jeff Downs and Steve Howe, pretty much. and a bunch of brandos. So, and it's just in Europe. So I'm not going over there to see Yes, that's for sure. I heard about this actually.
$65, man.
And these tickets, somebody sent me information about this. Seems like a really good price.
I think so for the production.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be quite as lavish as Floyd was back in the day, but I mean,
no, but it's still going to be lavish, man.
For $65, that's pretty good. I mean,
listen, I'm going to see Porcupine Tree for $110.
Porcupine Tree's pretty good. I like Porcupine Tree, but
yeah, it's $110, man. And
that's a bit rich.
That's decent.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, I got to see Neil Young. I was about 30 feet away from him at the Cleveland Music Hall. It was an amazing show. And that cost like $35. So, I mean, this was a long time ago, admittedly. So, yeah, I am being grumpy old man here, but yes, exactly. Well, I'm not saying no. They said no when they decided they weren't going to tour. They weren't going to tour in the U.S. But John Anderson, I would love to see, and you know, he's going to do Close to the Edge, which is one of my favorite Yes albums. Hilariously, there's a YouTube channel called Band Geeks, and Richie Castellano, I think, is the guy's name. And he like moved all the Band Geek stuff over to his own Richie Castellano channel. And him and like his buddies and his wife or whoever that he's got do these Yes covers that they absolutely nail. And he is now, I think, the bassist or guitar player for Blue Oyster Cult on tour. So, which I'm all like, really? I didn't know that, but okay. I should have gone to see Blue Oyster Cult when I had the chance too. So,
I wish I would have seen them.
Yeah, so I'll have to make do with Extraterrestrial Live, which is a fine live album, by the way. So, yeah, see, so I'm not the only person that watches that channel. That's the kind of shit I can't get on Spotify too. So, yeah, I think this is true, actually. And actually, I could kind of see a little bit of influence there as well. But that Pink Floyd is an influential band. So, well, Keith Richards disagrees with this, John, I'm afraid. Oh, my God. Oingo Boingo concert.
That's right, Carl.
Danny Elfman came out of Oingo Boingo to write the same fucking soundtrack to 30 different movies.
Relax.
I can't stand Danny Elfman. He actually, every once in a while, there will be a movie that challenges him and he'll do something that sounds different. But so many of them are those Tim Burton, Danny Elfman. The Danny Elfman circus music soundtrack. I hate that.
No.
It's not that it's bad music. It's that it's the same music in every movie.
I disagree.
Okay, disagree. That's fine. You know more about the music than I do. So
I disagree.
So I actually thought his soundtrack for I think he did the soundtrack for Justice League. And it actually, yes, that is exactly the kind of music I am talking about. He did the music for Justice League, and I thought that was actually a pretty good score. So, and he worked in a lot of stuff from the Hans Zimmer stuff and whoever did the music for, I think that was Hans Zimmer too, that did the music for the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight stuff, and then even some of the John Williams Superman theme stuff. So,
if Hans Zimmer dies, there's work for everybody in the world.
I don't get it.
Meaning that he's the only guy that composes everything.
That's kind of true. I mean, they get heritage. I liked his Dune soundtrack. Come
on.
It didn't blow me away. It's not my favorite Hans Zimmer soundtrack.
They should not have used Pink Floyd. No.
What?
They used Pink Floyd.
Oh, in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the trailer. I'm talking about the soundtrack in the actual
movie. But they're going to incorporate that piece in the second film. I
doubt it. So hilariously, the original who was the guy that was Jodorowsky, Alejandro Jodorowsky, his production of Dune was actually supposed to have been scored by Pink Floyd. He was talking about Magma scoring it because apparently Pink Floyd wasn't weird enough. So, I mean, you want to talk about weird prog. Magma is weird. Okay,
that's good. It's good. It's good.
It's neat. It's neat, but man, they like invented their own language to write the lyrics in the language of the alien planet that the record was about. No,
Just
I'm
sing
not
in Japanese, man.
holy God, was that? It's weird, man. It's super weird. So, Toto, there you go. I like the Toto Dune soundtrack, actually. Although I think the best piece on it is the Brian Eno piece and not any of the Toto pieces. But the Toto pieces are good, too.
Brian Eno, love him.
Yep, I like Eno, too. I hated it with Robert Fripp. I think that's was a terrible project, actually.
No, loved it.
I didn't like it. Sorry.
You mean No Pussyfooting?
No, I mean Fripp and Eno.
Yeah, No Pussyfooting. They put out an album.
Yeah, I thought it was just called Fripp and Eno, to be honest, but maybe it wasn't.
You mean where they're all mirrors and everywhere?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, they had 2 albums out: Evening Star and No Pussyfooting.
Okay, I thought there was only one. Maybe one of them was good. I don't know. That's possible. But according to this, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I only I only heard the first one, actually. Looking at it. And it No Pussyfooting.
Yeah, right. No, I with Swastika Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, the Swastika
Girls. There is a song called Swastika Girls on there. Okay. Yeah, that's the one with the mirrors on the cover. Yeah.
No, I'm a big Eno Fripp fan. Did you ever hear the one with David Byrne?
I don't think so.
Eno and Byrne.
Huh? That'd be interesting. I'd be interested to hear that. I like Eno's solo stuff better than stuff he did with other people, actually. So this is I think the thing. So we're talking about the John Carpenter movie, The Thing here.
Ennio Morricone.
Some of that movie was scored by Carpenter himself, but some of it's by Ennio Morricone, who was an amazing film composer.
Unbelievable.
So absolutely, he just passed away not that long ago.
Yeah,
actually.
I know. See, when
you did a whole tribute video to him.
Yeah. When we say his name, you bow your head.
Well, he was Ennio Morricone, man. I mean, he scored The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is one of the 10 best movies of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
My God, what an opera!
So, in large part due to Ennio Morricone's music. So,
I mean, what an opera!
Yeah. So, anyway, what do you got coming up on the channel, Dan?
Well, hopefully, I've got the Stack Academy video.
That'd be cool.
And you're talking about No Enemies Here, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to look. I'm starting to do the anchor thing on No Enemies Here. I'm starting to have my face there, because I seem to. I like change in my life. If I don't have change, already, it's static stuff. No good. Hyperactivity, ADD. Let's move. Go ahead. Boosh.
I can understand that.
And but I'm really getting into my pipe channel, man.
Good. Yet, so it's. I'm subscribed to it on my other channel, my personal channel, where I watch food videos mostly. Food and physics videos, generally speaking.
Do you watch that guy that looks like Marco Omni Gamer, the physics guy there?
Oh, you're not talking about. I know who you're talking about. Shit. What's his name?
I'm not making fun of the guy. The guy's super
pretty old.
interesting.
Pretty old, got an accent. Yeah, I am subscribed to him. So he I think taught at physics, MIT or Harvard. I think it was MIT.
The guy's a genius.
And his videos, his lectures are on YouTube. And man, he was good at it. I wish I'd have had him as a physics teacher instead of
he's dynamic.
Monotone bozo that I had in high school.
The guy in his quiet tone English voice is incredibly dynamic and interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
They did something about boiling an egg in.
You're not talking about Walter Lewin, are you?
No, I'm talking about periodic tables.
Oh, okay. So the guy I'm talking about, it was Walter Lewin, who was an actual lecturer and who's pretty old now, but he's got a YouTube channel, and I'm happy to say it looks like it's doing very well, much better than my channel. So he's got 1.3 million subscribers. I do not.
I think it's that guy. Hold on a second. For God's sakes, man. Come on, you know when you want
Probably my favorite science channel, like physics, astrophysics, and stuff. Science channel is probably PBS Spacetime. But I also am subscribed to SEO, which does kind of longer form stuff. It's kind of a British guy with a soothing voice and calming music in the background. It's pretty nice.
Oh, I don't know if it's this guy. I'm gonna try to share my my thingy. Well, share screen. I don't want to. Is that? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Share screen.
Okay.
Share screen.
Okay, is this the guy? This is the guy.
This was a James Horner soundtrack. Okay, I've seen this guy before. I don't think I've watched his videos though.
Man, millions of subscribers. Millions.
What's the guy's name? What's the channel?
I don't know. Marco Omni Gamer.
That's definitely not Marco.
Well, and later on,
it does look like Marco's dad. That could be Marco's dad. So.
Anyways, hey, the time is up there. I'm sick and tired.
I understand. I'm now searching for crazy hair physics guy. And he did not come up. So very disappointing. You gotta
put periodic table YouTube.
All right, I'll take a look at periodic table. All right, so everybody have a great night. Thanks for watching. And my place next week.
Okay, Artie. And now I'm gonna have to do the goodbye thing. Goodbye thing.
Okay, do the goodbye thing.